Hi, my name is Jade Rivera, and this is my Dispositions self-assessment. After doing that survey, I found, or I believe, to possess most of those dispositions already, except for maybe a couple. So one of the dispositions I believe to possess is setting and supporting realistic expectations for my students. I show this by setting grade level expectations, even if I know they are a low performing student. But I believe just setting that bar high motivates students to achieve something so that they're reaching their fullest potential. Another disposition I believe to possess is being sensitive to individual learning needs of my students. I like to show this by being aware of my students on a more personal level, so I get to really know them as people and their previous learning experience. So I do this by contacting or asking their previous teachers what they were like in previous years, communicating with their home to see what they notice at home, and also building strong relationships within the classroom and at school with those students. A third disposition I believe to possess is exercising and promoting fairness in all areas. I show this by giving any necessary scaffolds or help to my students during our learning process. I don't want any passive learners or students just sitting on the side feeling overwhelmed and shutting down because they can't understand grade level concepts. I provide that help and differentiate for all students so they can all be involved in our learning. A fourth disposition I believe to possess is exercising sound judgment and behavior. I show this by making good choices that promote professionalism and that just overall keeps students' best interests in focus. A fifth disposition I believe to possess is reflecting on myself and building teaching experience to grow professionally. I do this by taking PD classes, engaging in our statewide EES system, which is when our admin evaluates teachers based on a portfolio or formal observations. And more informally, I do like to reach out to other teachers at my school if I am struggling with a certain subject area or strategy to see how they execute it, or for them to observe me and give me feedback on what they noticed and what I can improve on. The last disposition I believe that I already possess is demonstrating professionalism in my behavior and being committed to the profession of teaching and learning. Overall, I think I carry myself in a professional manner, physically, and also by meeting my duties both inside the classroom with the students and outside the classroom, such as attending meetings, meeting deadlines for certain work things, and things related to that. I also am committed to the profession by always seeking out opportunities to improve my craft, kind of what I mentioned in the previous disposition, and just showing up as a teacher as much as I can so that my students have a consistent teaching style and method being given to them. They're not constantly having a shift in different teachers. I also learned from this survey what dispositions I can grow or improve in. Two of them is encouraging curiosity and inquiry with my students and understanding the importance of community involvement. I can improve in those two areas by trying to take questions and comments my students ask and incorporate it more into our learning instead of pushing it off to the side for later conversations. And I can incorporate the community more by reaching out to them for us to go see them on like field trips, or for them to come see us through like guest speakers or presentations. A great way to do this is through project-based learning, because a huge part of project-based learning is that hands-on real-world application. The final thing I learned from the self-assessment survey is what a professional educator should look like, how they behave, as well as what standards guide their thinking and actions. Overall, I think a professional educator should physically dress and look professional, not having anything that sends the wrong message or is too revealing, but also their professional presence. So again, meeting those duties that you have as a teacher, being well prepared and organized, confident, respectful, and approachable, and constantly reflecting and doing intentional things in their teaching practice. Standards that guides our thinking and actions should be things that are more on a whole scale, like all teachers need to do it, such as following like our code of ethics for educators, whether that be through like federal laws, legal policies, school policies that are set in place. And then also acknowledging the type of students you work with, understanding demographics, how to respond and work with the students you have, and being respectful to their cultures, the community they grew up in. And then finally, just having professional teaching standards. So planning and preparing in accordance with what your school or state requires through learning objectives, state standards, using given curriculum in the appropriate way, instructional practices, so engagement and differentiation, and constantly assessing and reflecting your students, as well as what you can improve on as a teacher, creating a classroom environment and having good classroom management so the physical space is a good learning space. And again, just meeting those other side professional responsibilities that you are required to do. That is everything I learned from the Disposition self-assessment, and I will definitely take this into consideration as I continue my teaching journey. Thank you.